Welcome everyone to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I am your hardcore host Rick Head, and tonight we are going to cover picks and predictions for this Saturday's SummerSlam. And with me, of course, I have the hardcore crew. First, from the Skeldon Realms, he's the Lord Skeldon himself, Joseph Knight. Joe, what's going on?
Not much. Let's see how this show turns out. Like I said, I'm already dreading SummerSlam. So go ahead. Let's kill everyone.
And of course, he's the Redneck Gourmet from Lance Moss TV. He's the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, you gave me a sneak peek to that pizza. Now that I want pizza.
Well, you'll find out how to make it this Friday at around 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern.
All right. Well, let's get into it, guys. SummerSlam used to be one of the biggest, biggest pay-per-views. I remember used to being psyched for it, and again, now with WWE being so like the past couple of years, I've just been like, okay, let's see what they got. I haven't even watched WWE a lot, but with SummerSlam coming up, I kind of watched some of the clips, and I'm like, okay, I can watch the clips. I tried to watch Monday Night Raw last week, and I couldn't because again, Cody Rhodes' promos are just dry, and just I just see how the show started off with a 15-minute promo where AEW starts right off with a match, Joe.
You know, the funny thing is, Cody Rhodes is in a position. By the way, over on the YouTube channel, there is Terry 3Gs. He says, "Here, there we go. Evening to all old and new." So I guess I'm the old and Rick.
New?
Yeah, Lance is the new one.
Yeah, Lance is the new one. So honestly, he's now on a scripted. He's on a scripted page now. He can't perform those great heartfelt promos he did in AEW. So yeah, he's dry. There, you could tell they're beating him like a government horse. It's one of those things, guys, that I am not surprised that his promos are now. He's the traitor. He left. Now he's back. So they're gonna rough him up a bit.
Real quick, some quick AEW news. All the other members of the Elite, I'm referring to Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and Hangman Page, have all re-signed with AEW for another 4 years.
Smart thing they can do. They know it's better to be in a promotion that you're in charge of than being in a company where you're probably going to be dressed as gobbledygookers or be jobbed to death by Vince and Triple H.
Yeah, I agree. There's way too many cracks. It's just too much of a huge company. Sometimes working for the smaller company is the better idea, especially if you're getting paid right.
Oh, especially if you're in control of it too. When you're in a position of really top like VPs, who's going to tell you got to lose? So
yeah. All right, guys. So let's get on with the first match. The first one, of course, is the rubber band match, and that's between Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. Over the past couple of weeks, Lesnar has been beating down Cody, and it's really this is a match again. Joe, we were talking before the show. We really think that Cody is going to win this one because again, it's a rubber band match, and Brock doesn't stick around a lot. So again, let's give you your thoughts.
Well, you know what? Obviously, they're going to give it to Cody because just like Judgment Day, you can beat the person down enough that he gets enough sympathy that he can come back. Right now, honestly, Brock is such a part-timer that he rarely know when he's coming back. So he's got that nice Bill Goldberg type, you could say, contract where he could go and come back, go and come back, go and come back. So right now, I just see this as Cody's going to get the win. They're going to position him as the favorite for possibly Survivor Series, if not Royal Rumble against Seth Rollins, and then get that WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we talked about the Cody trading, but I think that's he said he left for personal reasons, and I think that was the real reason why he wanted to leave. I think he wanted to be the WrestleMania for that one moment, at that championship. Yeah, he was at WrestleMania, but headline WrestleMania and win the championship. I guess that's always been the golden crown for almost every wrestler you could talk to. So.
And you know what? Before you cut, I didn't mean to cut you off for Lance, but notice that it's extra tough for an individual who recently leaves the company, makes success someplace else, and depends on the situation. Either when they come back, they are pushed faster to get like Drew McIntyre when he left, or like right now, Cody, he left and he was like a mid card guy, really hated his gimmick. I didn't have a problem with Stardust, but when he went into AEW, I mean, they were kicking it. They were really giving Vince, I wouldn't say a run for the money yet, but they gave fans the alternative. So him coming back to the same company he just left, it's like Eric Bischoff. You make fun of the other company, then they bring you back, they make you do a couple of ridiculous little skits, and they finally throw you in the trash bin, and then you're out the door. So are we going to see the same treatment with Cody? That's the question. And so far, I think it's yes.
All right, Lance, over to you. Your thoughts about Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes for the rubber band match.
Well, for one, Brock's going to get sweatier than a son of a bitch. It's a Brock Lesnar match. It's what he does. And, well, I see Cody taking this one, and probably the next time we see Brock will probably be Chicago for Survivor Series.
You're probably right. If not, maybe even Royal Rumble. But like I said, I personally have never been a fan of Survivor Series. Even as a kid, I never really liked them. I never really saw the kind of purpose. Although, which one they did a couple of years ago when they had NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, that was actually a good one. That one I actually enjoyed. But moving along, Logan Paul will be taking on Ricochet, and Logan Paul this time's a heel because it fits because everybody hates him. This guy, I mean, I never liked Logan Paul to begin with, and I'm a huge fan of Ricochet. So just on that alone, I'm voting for Ricochet. Lance, your thoughts?
Well, for one, Logan Paul's been a heel since his YouTube days. I mean, everybody remember that Japanese force? Just saying. Talking shit in the boxing world. Just saying. And now all he's doing is acting naturally. So I think he's going to do what heels do, and that's do the job. So I'm picking Ricochet my damn self.
All right, Joe, over to you.
Insightful.
Joe?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Ricochet's been beaten down so much. For him to lose to Logan Paul, it'll be a slap to him and every wrestler who works in that locker room. Because here's a punk who's never paid his dues, never went to a real wrestling school, never traveled the indies like everybody else does. And if he steps into that ring at SummerSlam and gets that win over Ricochet, I'm gonna go on record. Here's a Ricochet and the rest of Judgment Day minus Dominic and Rhea Ripley should just retire or just break apart and do their own stuff, because how much more can Ricochet lose? How much more can Finn Balor lose? For Damian Priest to lose. I know they're good company people. They're good people, but how many times can you keep losing to jack-offs like this? Who, if this idiot wanted to be a wrestler, why don't he just sign an elusive contract, and let's see him wrestle 365 days in a year, twice on Sunday, and let's see how well this jerk-off fucking does shit. I'm tired of these celebrities just walking in, getting wins over great talent, because if the talent don't have a problem with it, that means they're just in it for the money, and that's it, which is smart. But geez, you're breaking yourself down.
And I know something that's going to set Joe off, so it's joe@scoundrelsrealm.com. You know why he's getting this match is going to be kicking off SummerSlam?
I heard, but go ahead, let the audience
know. Because he has to get out of there and go watch his brother fight.
You are kidding me.
No, I'm not.
Shows you how much this punk cares about the wrestling business.
Wow, I did not realize that's the opening match, and for that particular reason. I mean, I just go through the matches just, right down the line, but oh my Jesus
You know,
Christ.
here and I'm gonna go officially on record with this shit. Is when I see stuff like this, and he wants to leave early so he can go see a fight. That shows you. Give me my paycheck. Give me my pay-per-view, whatever experience. Let everybody kiss my coattail like I'm Jim Jordan of the cult, and let these marks kiss my ass, and then let me go do something really more important and go over here and see my brother fight. What does that fucking tell you about this jerk off? He should lose. He should be pinned in the middle of the ring, and that's it. If you want to include Judgment Day to make it look like a schmaz ending just so this asshole can fucking be, so he doesn't get a clean loss, then fine.
How Ricochet? I mean, Ricochet's not part of Judgment Day.
This?
Hey, the way he's losing might as well be part of the Judgment Day. He's part of their job squad. That will fit him appropriately.
All right. Well, that's a topic for another day. I think. Anyways, let's move along. Now we're gonna have Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler in the Beauty and the Beast. I'm sorry, it's an MMA rules match. An MMA rules match. Joe, you did call it.
I called it on this particular show. I said it many times. If they were going to do something like this, they would have to do an MMA fight stipulation. Does that mean they could have put it in the cage? Possibly not. Maybe. Who knows? WWE might do that just to fuck around. Well, not to fuck around because they're all in the same umbrella of the UFC. So it might if it's a shoot fight, then I could see maybe Shayna get over Ronda. But if it's a played out fight, they might just let Ronda go over and let them be friends afterwards. I still don't understand. You've got two of the most baddest women in that organization who can legitimately fans break fucking people's arms. Shayna just looks at you and you break your whole body apart. It's like Legos. So Ronda's a lot cuter. So these two could have stood together. They would have been the Legion of Dames or the Powers of Broads or the Powers of Pussy. I don't care which one.
Powers of Pussy.
Yeah.
ChildrenFilm.com.
Thank you, Lance. You know what? I keep forgetting my own email, so I have to be on this show just to remember it. So, you put these two together, and they could have dominated. They would have been the equivalent of the Road Warriors in a women's division.
Well,
and Lord knows, in this day and age, the trannies will probably want to be in the Road Warriors be that division.
Well, to set things how the story came out, these two were actually a tag team, and they were dominating.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Shayna just walked out for no reason. It was like she just there was no sign of what the hell was going on. I'm like, so I remember watching, and I'm like, why? I mean, is WWE just starting to throw weird shit in because they don't know how to break people apart?
Well, you know what it is, right? Shayna finally realized fucking Ronda is beautiful compared to her. Ronda, if you see some of Ronda's pictures, oh my God, like her in the beach and stuff like that, she looks, and I've said this before, she looks like a badass Shirley Temple. Look at Shirley Temple, the actress, and if you don't know who that is, fuck you. Go look at Shirley Temple, and you'll see the same face, even when she's an adult. It's the same face of Ronda Rousey. The except thing that Ronda Rousey can kick everybody's ass, and I wouldn't mind she kicked my ass. Then you got Shayna Baszler that can stop the fucking Terminator or the Predator, and you don't see her posing on the beach. So I could see why. You get all the attention because you're beautiful, and I'm a fucking wreck.
Yeah, I don't think WWE would want to do any beach shots of Shayna Baszler in a bikini. I don't see that happening. Lance, over to you. Your thoughts on this match?
Well, instead of quote MMA rules, they should just put it in the fight pit because it means the same damn thing. It would have been a lot easier, and fans wouldn't have to be going, "What the hell are they talking about?"
Yeah.
Well, as much as I hate to say it, Ronda's probably picking this up because they're paying her more.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Terry 3G chimed in. He says Dan Severn all over again.
You know,
Uh,
you know what? But here's the difference. Like Dan Severn was a good, solid worker, but he just didn't have that charisma. He was like the straight fight type of guy.
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock, same type of thing, MMA type guy, but he had some charisma. And when he got excited, you could tell, like, he went off.
Yeah, he would go into like freak out mode.
I'm
shit.
sorry, but Dan Severn made Lance Storm look like the Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charisma.
And the funny thing is, he's still Dan Severn. He's still wrestling in the
Yeah.
Indies.
Yeah.
So I thought he just got out of the business, and I didn't realize that until a couple of years ago. I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, this guy's still
Yeah.
wrestling.
He's
So,
actually and is still in decent shape.
Yeah.
You know, I see this as this match is going to be a blow off. Ronda's going to win. They're going to shake hands afterwards. I don't know, because let's face it, both girls have done whatever in the business. Shayna hasn't won a women's title, I don't think. Has she?
she
guys?
won the NXT women's, but I don't think she's won anything on the main roster.
Okay.
NXT, yeah.
Right.
So-
Okay. So NXT. So they're a real title. Like Ronda's won title, so I don't worry about that. So the only title that really Shayna's won is the tag titles on the main roster.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
So
yeah.
maybe this might be a thing that they just want to get it out of their system, see who's the better fighter, and considering that, you know, WWE is in the same corporation with UFC, they probably wanted to throw that in just for a UFC thing. Do any of you know if there is a UFC pay-per-view coming up? They could be using that match just to promote that. Who knows?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I know other people in our circle are, but I've never followed UFC. Although Lance, you just pointed out earlier that Logan Paul's leaving to see his brother fight. I'm not sure
but
that's UFC.
that's in boxing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in MMA.
Anyway, let's move along.
Moving right along.
Now, Gunther will defend his Intercontinental Championship match against Drew McIntyre. Now, I am a huge fan of Drew McIntyre, and I'd like to see him win the IC Championship. But the way on the path that Gunther's been going on, I think Gunther's gonna retain one way or another, especially since he has Imperium in his back. Joe, your thoughts?
Why does Gunther look like he's a fucking 60-year-old guy? You know, he's like Gunther Vent. I wonder where Gunther Vent. You know, he should Gunther Vent out the building. I see nothing interesting about this guy. He looks like a thumb. He reminds me of Vladimir Koloff, and that's horrible. You know, if Drew does not pick up the Intercontinental title, he might as well just also leave the company, because already Gunther has the impressive win. He's already beaten Macho Man's Intercontinental title reign. He's still behind, I forgot whom else, and the Honky Tonk Man is still the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, I believe. So in this case, Drew needs to win this so we can finally move away from boring ass Gunther into somebody who at least has some charisma. I just hope that they don't make Drew McIntyre transitional champion.
Yeah, I know. Lance, over to you. Your thoughts?
I'd like to see Drew pick it up, but I'm not seeing it. So I'm keeping it on Gunther. And to answer your question, the next UFC is, I'm looking here, the 19th.
The 19th? All right. So let's get along. Now, Asuka will defend her WWE's Women's Champion in a triple threat against Charlotte and Bianca Belair. Now, we've seen Charlotte Flair have at least 14, 15 title runs so far. Bianca Belair has had several titles, so you know what? I'm voting for Asuka. Now, who do I really think's gonna win? I have a bad, ugly feeling that Charlotte's gonna win this title. I don't know what it is. It's in the pit of my stomach, but I'm definitely rooting for Asuka. Lance, over to you.
I'm going Bianca, and then Io Sky comes in and cashes in.
Oh, that's right. Io Sky still has a champion. Okay, so that's an interesting theory. Joe, over to you.
Two people I hate. Asuka I love. It's the man in the with the blonde wig, David Flair. Bianca Belair, she just blows air to me. I just don't care for her. We all know why she won the belt in the first place. I'm not going there. Yeah, I feel this is so horrible. Poor freaking Asuka, who has to be thrown into this fucking match. Oh my God, I feel so bad for her. She's going to lose this title. She's most likely going to lose it to fucking Charlotte Flair, like always. And I agree with Lance. Elo Sky is going to come down and cash in. And who knows if I wanted, if I was Asuka, like, yeah, if I got to drop it to fucking Flair, then guess what? I'm going to knock Flair out, let Elo Sky get the match. That's the only way I see this in here. So, Rick, either way, the fans lose.
All right. Lance, I already got over to you, right?
Right.
Okay. Sorry, kind of lost track of there for a sec. All right.
Well, you're dealing with Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. You might as well be losing it.
And I'm dealing with a cat right now who's whining at me, and I'm shushing him off. So,
Quit playing with your pussy on live TV.
no, I only do that on X-Hamster.
Wrong platform.
Yep. All right. Finn Balor will take a shot at Seth Rollins' WWE World Championship. Now, these two have a long history. They've fought each other at least a couple of times before. So, to me, honestly, I see a coin tosser on this one. I know Rollins just recently got the title, but Judgment Day, they've been on a tear lately. You have Rhea Ripley, who has a championship. You have Dominic Mysterio, who has a championship. And you have Damian Priest, who is the Money in the Bank. So, for me, I think it would fit. I don't know about you, Lance.
I actually got a little bit of a theory on this one, too.
Okay.
This is going to be a brutal match between these two. Like, they're both going to be blown up after, or just winded and all, as I'll get out at the end of this match. So, Finn's going to pick up the win, and then you hear Damian Priest's music. He cashes in, beats Finn, and that starts the crumbling of the Judgment Day.
Okay, maybe. If it happens, I'll say that, Lance called it, but I'm not sure about that. I'm going to see the crumbling of the Judgment Day just yet. But you know what? Fair enough. Joe, over to you.
Interesting.
Joe? That's Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep muting it so you don't hear dogs barking. Obviously, I hate to say it, but the freaking Jesus Christ of professional wrestling, Mr. Lynch, is going to keep his belt, and poor Finn Balor is going to be on his back again. I don't see a cash in right away. If he does get a cash in and he wins, I don't think he's going to win it. I think he's going to save that cash in for something else. Because if it's Finn Balor, first of all, I don't think Seth Rollins is going to lose that belt. He's not going to lose it to maybe Cody Rhodes. So, honestly, I think, it's just going to be another loss for Judgment Day. And if Damian Priest does try to do something with this, it's not going to work. It's not going to be pretty. So, Seth Rollins is not losing that belt, guys.
All right, you know what? I got a side question. I found something interesting on this whole rundown for this SummerSlam. There's only 2 women's matches. That's it.
Right.
So you would have figured that,
Well, let's cut back. That's 1 women's match and a half, because you really can't count the Shayna Ronda match as a wrestling match is an MMA match. So I don't know.
Because for some reason they were teasing Trish Becky, but they for some damn reason made that not this coming Monday, but the one after that.
Huh. And then, you have Rhea Ripley, and then she's a world champion, and she's not defending it on SummerSlam, no less. Guys, this is not some kind of a third or fourth, pay-per-view that nobody gives a shit about. But apparently, the biggest event of the summer is only for the boys.
Yeah.
Well, there's another thing too. Who is she supposed to be going up against? And I mean Rhea Ripley. Who's our main competitor right now?
Oh God, Lance.
Shows you how much I really pay attention to this show.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, Raquel. Yeah, I actually, you know what? I do remember them beating the shit out of each other, and I thought so. Unless something's added on SmackDown, I don't see it. I mean, it would have made sense.
Raquel, whatever her name is.
Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah, that bitch.
Damn.
Well, come on now, it's Raquel Rodriguez. What? Like, yeah, that's a great fucking thing there. That's their version. The way I look at it, that's their version of the Chris Statlander. That's WWE's Chris Statlander.
Okay.
It's too soon for her, and it's too soon for this to happen. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think it's. I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see a change. But I don't see the reason for. I think that match is still too minor for a chance to move up. If that makes sense.
No, I understand that real quick. I want to jump over to the YouTube channel. Terry3G's had a few points. Rollins will enable his Terry Bola clause in the contract to remain the champion, and Balor will get another shot at another pay-per-view. Interesting. But he also said that Balor is way overdue for some titles. They've kept him from doing for a long time. And you know what? And that's another good point. Balor is a great wrestler. And they have kind of kept him down. So he went down to NXT. He kind of did okay for there, and then you brought him back up, and he's kind of right now back where he is, just kind of mid-carding. But let's move along. So now we have the main event, which is Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso, and that is called Tribal Combat. Now, quick explanation of what that is. That's an ODQ match, but Roman Reigns himself made it very clear there'll be no one at ringside. It wants to just be a one-on-one and see if Jey Uso can beat him. So, part of me is I know they're pushing hard for Jey to win. That tells me that Roman Reigns is going to win this title. He's going to hold on to the title again for a little bit longer. Lance, over to you.
Well, I'm almost guaranteed somebody's getting involved.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, they want to keep the belt on Roman until Mania 40.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So Roman wins.
You know what? Why should they even bother put him in a match? They should just leave the title off and then just have other wrestlers.
Well, they've done it before. Like, he didn't defend the title till 2 months after Mania when he won the damn thing.
Yeah, exactly. Let him go on vacation again. And they don't really care how many times he defends the title, right, Joe? It's just a matter of how long you hold on to it, I guess.
Well, let's face it. And then so you're telling me he took out some great matches, possible great matches, for this fucking 2 again. I don't care about the DIY brothers. I don't care about Mr. Ooh-ha. Overrated. You got one super overrated. The other one's just a fucking drunk driver. And you're killing WWE fans by playing this stupid storyline over. Might as well tune in All in the Family and every other fucking TV show that has a family feud on. Let's get Richard Dawson somewhere and have him host Family Feud, because this shit is just the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. How many times are you going to play the same storyline? This is lazy booking. This is creative, probably in Rollins and all the whoever the Samoan family that wants to keep these two pieces of shit in the limelight. I don't care for either one. It's time to drop the belt already, but not to an Uso. Obviously, no Uso's going to win this belt. All right. What is he going to do? I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to get pulled over on the highway for drunk driving. What a great
Actually, I
champion
think
that
drunk
is.
so is his brother.
Oh, fuck them both. You know, this whole group, Samoa Sika, Solo Sika, fucking out the door Sika, the two Usos and this jabroni need to be gone. They need to go in a flaming bus over a bridge. That's how tired I'm tired of seeing these guys. I never had a problem watching the Usos before, but this is just is like so many things in politics where it's shoved down your throat. These guys have been not only shoved down our throat, pulled out our ass, re-shoved down our throat so they could pull it right back out the ass. This is a waste of a match. This should have been on a Raw or SmackDown or whatever the fuck TV show. It should have been a Sunday Night Heat, because that's how important this fucking bullshit match is. Han Solo Sika, Terry 3G says. You know, I don't want to see it, Rick. Obviously, Roman's going to win this. Either it's going to be like, oh, I'm sorry I attacked you and did this just like they did before. And then either that or Samoa Sika, Solo Sika, fucking Samoa Joe Sika is going to run to the ring. He's going to try to beat up on the Uso. The other Uso is going to realize, oh, shit, I better put my drink down and wobble to the fucking ring and help his brother. They all going to get into a fight, and then somebody's going to try to break it up. And it's going to be like, okay, Family Feud, let's go off in our court. I don't want to see this shit. The Iron Seeker, they might as well throw in that cliche. They're a bunch of jabronis. Rick, well, I don't care for this match, but Roman Reigns obviously is going to win it.
Okay, well, you were tossing around how, like, you know, they could go all Rumble and they could beat the hell out of each other. And again, we still haven't thought about the Damian the Priest factor. Could he be a factor? I mean...
No, this match is not... Put it like this. It's the fucking family.
Yeah.
You think that either one is going to lose the belt to an outsider? No. Right now, they want to finish this storyline to see where it generates. Then they're going to go off with it. Then somebody else will beat them. But as of right now, they just want to shove this down our throat because they don't want to give nobody else a chance. They want to be the clique. They want to keep it in their little group until everybody gets so tired of it. They're going to say, okay, fuck you. You're tired of this. We're tired of this shit. Go. Leave. Because I know after this match, Roman's taking a vacation anyway. The Usos are going to go take a vacation. They'll be pulled over down the highway after the show. So, fuck them all. I love Rikishi. I love Yokozuna. I have great respect for the entire Alpha Samoa family. You know, but these jabronis are so tiring already. Lance, hit him with the email.
That's joe@collisionfilm.com.
Thank you.
And
Rick,
there will be
Rick, Rick, before you go there, Lance, can you hit me with an Iron Sheik impersonation?
I mean, Papa, the jabrones.
Thank you.
All right, now I'm not sure this could be on the kickoff match, which I probably don't see that because they're too busy talking for an hour and a half. They're gonna have a SummerSlam Battle Royal, and it's just a typical Battle Royal. They didn't say if the winner is going to win a trophy, is going to win money, or is going to win a title shot. It's just a Battle Royal because they want to just take up time. I guess that's the only thing. So they haven't even mentioned the competitors. I'm guessing it's just everybody else that wasn't on SummerSlam. So, but I pretty much don't have any real prediction for that one. And Battle Royals have always been a little kind of weird like that. You know, you don't know which WWE is going to swing it. On a side note, I do want to talk about Grayson Waller. Now, for the past couple of weeks, Grayson Waller has been like trying to like trying to rub up against every single person he possibly can. I'm talking like John Cena, Undertaker. Even he even thinks that he could get with what's the MMA guy, Conor McGregor. And I'm
Yeah,
like, what? I'm like, is this guy? What is he sniffing?
glue.
Yeah, he must be. You know, it must be Gorilla Glue. But anyways, and I figured, all right, you know what? Let me watch a couple of these guy matches. Maybe I'm just being, too judgmental. The guy can't wrestle for shit, Joe. I'm serious. I have more respect for Dominic Mysterio as a wrestler than I do this guy, and I'm not kidding. Okay,
Yeah.
Joe.
Isn't rubbing up against superstars what got Vince in trouble?
No, that was rubbing up his lawyers and secretaries.
That's true.
So, all right, folks. So, I want to thank Joe and everybody else who was and Terry who came to hang out with us tonight. This Sunday, SummerSlam. So we're gonna try. Oh, it's Saturday. That's right.
Saturday.
I keep on forgetting. I forget they moved shit to Saturdays. But
wow, this is a short show. I haven't even had enough ranting yet on it.
All right. Well, I gave you an opportunity to rant on Grayson Waller, but you kind of just missed it.
Well, no, it's just I don't know who the jabroni is. I don't put it like this. If I don't know him, then he's a piece of shit, waste of fucking time. To me. I don't give a damn. I don't know. I just don't see why rubbing up against the other, unless you're Vince McMahon rubbing against the women's division, he'll stop as soon as he sees Shayna Baszler. He's, come on, Vince, hug me. No, like Vader. No, I don't really see, I don't know. I just don't know who he is. But apparently in the news, Thunder Rosa is training regularly in her preparation to return to the ring. But she hasn't mentioned Rick or Lance. Which ring is that? Either back in AAA, Ring of Honor, or AEW?
I think she still has a crew with AEW. I think she still has a contract.
Yeah.
So I think she'll definitely be back in AEW before she goes to AAA or any other event. Because obviously, she has that one signed contract. But even though Tony Khan is very, very gracious, or he lets other wrestlers wrestle for other promotions, I think when it comes to Thunder Rosa, he's gonna say, "Nope, I get first dibs." So,
yeah.
I don't know, Joe.
How I kind of see it going, she'll make her return in AEW in I think she said a week or two, because she did do a little bit of training before one of the shows commentary for, but I think we'll also see her back in the promotion she owns, just trying to get shake off some ring rust.
Yeah, absolutely.
After she makes her re-debut.
Yeah. Well, here's another piece of it. I don't know if you guys watch Collision, but CM Punk finally took out his old AEW championship, which actually had a big X sprayed across it. Almost looked like the Hulk Hogan NWO type thing. I don't know what that's all about, and he challenged Ricky Starks to a title match next week. I'm sorry, next week's Collision. And he said that he even said, "Come on, Rick, you want a shot at the champ?" So CM Punk is now calling himself a champion because he said he was never pinned, and he never lost, he never submitted it. But apparently he forgot to mention that he was stripped of the title. So I don't know, Joe. What do you think about that?
It makes perfect sense. It helps boost ratings because it is let's face it, guys, it is two championships. We've seen it happen multiple times when people have like the Intercontinental title and they say, oh, one person won it. No, the other person won it. It makes perfect sense in this case that they do something like that just to build more intrigue and more ratings. And the way I think he put an X on it's because that belt is no longer kind of valid because MJF has the real world title. But it has, unless the X stands for the new logo of Twitter. But I think it's just Punk's way of generating ratings for that show, and them to keep pushing until they force eventually MJF meets CM Punk, and then we'll go from there. So it's a clever ploy just to bring ratings to Collision, because Collision's ratings hasn't, made it up there compared to a SmackDown rating. So
Yeah, well, granted, I don't think that any AEW shows will go up to SmackDown or Raw ratings. As much as I respect AEW, they are a secondary show. But this week's show, they actually cracked 800 views, which was like almost twice as much for a long time. They're only getting 200, 250s. They were really not looking good. But
now, the thing about the belt is the X, like he's been putting that X on his fist tape for years.
That's an interesting point. Very interesting point.
And also, I kind of think they don't have a main event for London, do they?
Not yet, and you brought up another good
way
point.
to build it.
Yeah, good way to build it. It's gonna be title versus title for between CM Punk and MJF. So yeah, definitely, I could definitely see that definitely in the works. So we're gonna have to see what else is out there, and hopefully. Speaking of CM Punk, he's gonna be missing out Labor Day weekend, and that's because he has prior obligations to be a commentator for Cage Fury Fighting Championship. Say that 5 times fast. So
I'm not going to even try.
yeah, no kidding. But Punk, since Collision's been on, he's been on that every week. He's even wrestled a couple of weeks. He's even lost a couple of times. So I'm like, okay, maybe this, I'm starting to get a little bit of respect from him. Not a lot, but just a little. I can respect a wrestler when he comes on and he starts working, night in and night out and has no problem losing. We've just seen before where Punk, would never lose. And he would only wrestle like sporadically. So maybe now with his own show, it's different. But let's talk about Ryback for a second, guys. Who wants to talk about Ryback?
We have to.
Oh no.
Oh, all right. Well,
no, go ahead. Let's kill us all, but go ahead.
Well, you guys heard like last week, Ryback challenged Booker T to a fight. And
no, I did not hear that.
Yeah, no, a fight. Now Booker T is like, yeah, sure, I'll fight you. And you name the place and I'll fight you. And then of course, Ryback said, he wanted it at a ring in a match. And then Booker T is like, no. You want to fight me? We're gonna fight. I'm not gonna give you any kind of push or any kind of promo. You want me to kick your ass? I'll kick your ass in the fucking street. People are not gonna pay for it. You're certainly not gonna make any money off of this. So, Joe, I think.
Yeah, you know what? I laugh. I give the guy props because I gotta say he's trying his damnedest best to get some reaction in this. You gotta admire the guy. He's trying. He's on the unemployment line. He's eating cheese. He's trying to finish up what he's trying to get something. It is it is very laughable how he can literally, get there and, keep trying, keep going at this. So I give him props. At least he's trying. He's going to fail regardless. But yeah, you know what? I honestly, I got to say, it is a scenario where, you look at this and he's doing his damnedest, Rick, to stay in the limelight, because no indie company has taken him. You would have thought they would have taken him. No indie company, no main company has taken him. Not even Impact or NWA Power. You would have thought one of those jabroni promotions would have taken him. But no, everybody's smart. They don't want to deal with the guy. So and notice, he's not on any TV show like, what was it, Tyrus, the big fucking heavy fat motherfucking thunder fucking dactyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on fucking Fox. He's on little bullshit shit stuff. So, let's get, at least he does TV. Nobody wants this man around. if he has a wife, she wears a paper bag so nobody notices who she is. Their
Yeah.
kids wear probably paper bags, so they don't know how there is. Might as well call him Al Bundy because nobody, the
I'm
world
sorry,
laughs.
but as many steroids as Ryback's on, he's probably sterile.
Yeah,
Thank God for small miracles.
exactly.
You know.
So, Rick, that's why you know he's trying his damnedest.
Yeah. Well,
Ryback, listen to your fans. When you put up a poll, they all say retire.
yeah. More than
Well,
one.
I think he's forced to retire at this point.
Yeah. All right. Now, Lacey Evans has been not seen for the ring for the past couple of weeks. And apparently this is due to creative not having anything for her. We know that Evans' last gimmick was the Slaughter's daughter, which was a really bad mockery of Sergeant Slaughter, which did not go over with the fans, and it pushed the issue even further, having a Twitter war with the legendary Sergeant Slaughter, which only made things worse. And Joe, when you're taken off TV, that's not a good sign of things.
Well, when you're taken off TV, it's basically you were given a bad gimmick, it didn't run, so they got to pull you back, and now they're going to say, okay, stay home for a couple of months, and we'll repackage you some other way. They should have just left her at the Southern Belle and just let her be. She could have been get her a tag team, get her anything. As a solo star, she just doesn't have the carry-on ability. I think what she should do is ask for her release, go over to AEW, and just wrestle there. Maybe team with Tyra Valkyrie, and just be a tag team. I just don't see. Here's one thing that people get: they're harping bad on this poor girl. When you got to remember, she doesn't come up with the gimmick. Gimmicks are given to you. Just like the Clown was given to Matt Bourne, just like the Polka Dots was given to Dusty Rhodes. It's up to you to try to make it win or not. But today's fans look at that like, well, we already have a Sergeant Slaughter. We know who he is. We know who you are.
Yeah.
So it's not going to work as well as if this was kayfabe years, that there was no internet, there was nothing, no social media. Then nobody would have cared because you had Jesse Barr, who became Jimmy Jack Funk, a supposed Funk brother. You had Lance Von Erich, who was a make-believe Von Erich. It was, in this day and age, fans could see right through that shit, Rick, and that's why she's pulled off TV until they could figure out something.
Well, she actually had, before she did the Slaughter's daughter, she had just herself as just a pretty much like a military wrestler, and then it looked like she had like a fucking meltdown, or a midlife crisis by going to the Slaughter's daughter because she acted the same way, and she kind of like did the whole rusky voice, and it was like, oh my god, it was painful. I couldn't even listen to half her promo. I'm like, okay, you're done, you're fried. Lance, your thoughts?
She should leave the business and go sell some corn dogs.
Well, she needs to rub some corn dogs and do porn. She should get her OnlyFans page because, she's not an ugly girl. She's a very attractive woman. It's, I think, currently right now her time, and we've seen it happen. Drew McIntyre's one. Many other guys have had the same thing where you've been in the business for so long and you've run through as much things as possible that there's nothing left for you to do. Unless you're Charlotte Flair, unless you're somebody, Dominic Mysterio, who's an established name that can create their own, who basically are handed their own gimmicks. Obviously, we know Charlotte was a copy of Ric Flair. Then she branched it into her own thing. Then you see Dominic Mysterio. He could have came out in the mask. No, he was true. He was still a Mysterio, but he's proven that he could be on his own and do stuff himself. He looks more like Eddie Guerrero than fucking Ray Ray. So I think in this case it was just bad creative, and nobody knew what to do with this girl. Honestly, she should have just stayed with the Southern Belle gimmick, never changed it, and say, look, when she was the little evil Southern Belle or whatever the hell it was over. Her thing now is ask for her release, see if AEW picks her up or they could put her in Ring of Honor and just let her work her career there for a couple more years before she retires.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that sounds like a good idea. I mean, right now she's still making money, but um, a lot of wrestlers, I'm sure we've seen it in the past. Even with Cody Rhodes is a perfect example. He was doing stuff that he didn't like. He wasn't happy doing with what he wanted to do, so he left. And then he finally was able to create the character that he wanted to create. The American Nightmare. He went into Japan. That worked. And he went over with all AEW and pushed it even further. And then he went back to WWE. And even though he's not really won any title matches, he's definitely top mid card matches. So
yeah, and and along the way when he left, hell, he won the it's bogus now because it's not worth spit, but he won the NWA World Title that his father had. It's not the same lineage as the Jim Crockett promotion days, but he won that belt. It's just something to say, yeah, I got this belt. He's won other titles. He won the AEW titles. So he basically has been, brung in. And like anybody who comes back, if you burn the WWE in a certain way, yeah, they're going to hate your guts. So until you're in good graces with them, and then he'll win a belt. But it's just so bad that you see this girl who's, and it's not her fault. And you see some talents today, they're not well trained. They're not. I said it before. You look at AEW, it looks like a McDonald's meeting because it's all a bunch of skinny, slim individuals, minus a few big guys. But that's the land of the skinny people.
Well,
So they're there.
Well, again, that was built on indie wrestling. So you're not going to see WWE wrestlers who are, built, like 6'5", 300 pounds, all muscle ripped. They do, like you just said. AEW does have a lot of wrestlers who are built in that capacity, but there are other wrestlers who just, are one nighters. And I mean, I like I said, I've always loved AEW. I've yet to have a show where I've been like, okay, this really, really, really sucks. Where I don't, where the point where I'm just rolling my eyes, I'm like, I shut the TV off. I have Raw and SmackDown on DVR, and I try to watch it. I really do. I try to wait for about I wait for the first promo because the promos takes forever. And then I start watching some of the matches, and I just see who's going to win, how it's going to play out, and it's just the same fucking stupid shit over and over and over again. So, right now, despite the indies or the thin guys, I don't care. It's interesting wrestling for me. So, we're going to wrap up this edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I'd like to thank, of course, Terry 3G for hanging out with us. For those of you who are listening, if you want more of Hardcore Wrestling Rants, please be sure to check out our Facebook page, Wrestling Rants. We give the latest news, rumors. I even do AEW play-by-plays. So please get on over there. And we're here every Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Joe, you're over at Skeldon Realms. Tell everybody about it.
Yeah, everybody could do the hashtag Skeldon's Realm. Just check me out. I am on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and now Kick. So if you want to I do games from yesterday to today, PC to consoles. I've finally, with work, I could probably do a stream tonight. So I haven't done one. I'm actually going to go back on Dead by Daylight because they have Nicolas Cage, out of all people, since the Flash movie when he made that rare appearance as Superman. He decided they really went on that. So he is in Dead by Daylight. So I'm going to show him off just for a fun time, just see what everybody says. And we'll go from there. So just tune in.
All right. And Lance, from what I understand, you got a good pizza coming up this Friday.
Indeed. But every Tuesday night we go live on Lance Moss TV and Friends. It's at 7:05 Central, 8:05 Eastern. And yes, I do have a buffalo chicken bacon ranch jalapeno pizza coming at 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern. Anywhere else, you do the math. And well, yeah.
All right. So that's it. So for the Hardcore Crew, I'm your Hardcore host, Rick Kidd, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Buy the shirt.
Yep, buy the shirt indeed.